Okay.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Thanks. Good evening. So, thank you for joining. As Neerav mentioned, thank you for coming in. The weather is not good. It's a weekday, and you guys have come, and it's a great motivation for us. And we are here for the people who are watching live. We are here in our Bengaluru offline center, and thank you all for joining online as well. So, in today's session, we are going to talk about interview preparation, system design, and algorithm questions and general journey. We are also going to cover journey for working professionals, experienced people. And we have experts with me. We have Rohit with us and we have Himanshu with us. So I would like the panelists to introduce themselves. So I'll begin with Rohit. Please introduce yourself.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Rohit. I'm currently working as a senior software engineer at Google, and I had around 10 years of industry experience. And that's all about me. We'll have more discussion if you have more doubts, more questions that you want to ask. I'll answer those later.
Yeah, hi everyone. So my name is Himanshu Agrawal. I currently work at Samsung Research Institute, Bangalore. So yeah, I have around 2 years of experience. So yeah, and apart from that, I did my BTech from Government College of Engineering Amravati, which is a Tier 3 college, and I passed out in 2022. So I think yeah, we'll see your doubts. Yeah, thank you.
So these guys have given introduction so quickly, but there is a lot to cover, and these guys have really great experiences. For example, Rohit has worked in all the top tech companies. He's cracked Samsung being from a tier 3 college, and we'll cover all that. So Rohit Sharma in cricket hits all the sixes. You have cracked all the top tech companies. You name it, and he has cracked all the companies. So any one lesson that you would like to tell people that worked for you for cracking the company interviews?
Okay, so the most important thing in tech industry is to be continuously learning things and being very curious about it, about all the techs, right? Because the thing is that the tech is changing very rapidly, right? So what is in trending today may not be trending tomorrow. But the fundamental things, right? For example, data structures, algorithms, your system design concepts, they remain constant, right? So you need to keep working on your fundamentals. At the same time, be curious about all the new techs that coming in to the industry. That's the key, basically. So even though you become like 5-year experience, 6-year experience, right? You still keep revisiting all the fundamentals, like your data structure, like revisit your college books, like algorithm books, data structure books, keep solving 1 or 2 problems daily, right? If you keep doing that, right, you will be able to crack interviews, because I know a lot of people right after college they were able to crack very good company right from college, like they had a wonderful placement, they got placed in FAANG and all. But after 4 or 5 years they stopped learning, and then they find it very hard to switch companies after a certain point, because they stopped learning, they stopped focusing on fundamentals. They become very good software engineers though, but for them to be able to crack companies would become challenging after a certain point. So the key is being curious and keep learning.
All right. So as Rohit said, it's very important. Even when I was a software developer, that time low-level design used to be asked a lot. That was the time of 2009, 10 when I had worked in a company. That time low-level design used to. These days, system design is something I think working professionals must be aware. It's a fundamental. Even algorithms, the top tech companies, they ask algorithm even after you have 5 years or 10 years of experience. So great, Rohit. Rohit, what all companies you have cracked interviews of? I mean, where all you have worked? You did not talk about that.
Okay. So as you know, I'm currently working at Google. Before Google, I was with Meta. I was specifically part of Instagram team, and before that, I was at Amazon, and I for a very brief period of time, I even worked at Flipkart. And in terms of cracking the interviews, I guess I've cracked most of the companies interview, like Ola, your Airbnb, and there are some good tech companies in US and UK as well. So I got offered from a lot of companies. Uh, it's not like I've not never faced any rejection. There are few rejections as well. For example, I got rejected in Microsoft interview, but yeah, but the rejection, the number of rejections are quite less, to be honest. But yeah, almost wherever I got the opportunity, I was able to crack interviews. The I told you the secret is that just keep solving problems, keep learning, keep like look at the trends, what's happening around you and in the software industry.
All right, Rohit. So, Himanshu, you came from a tier three engineering college, and after that, you went to Samsung, and it's a big, big thing. It's a very motivational story for engineering students, because a lot of students who are in a tier three college, they don't even get an opportunity to appear in interviews. Things are getting better now. In 2004, when I did BTech from a tier three engineering college, I did not get any interview call, even no service-based company even replied to my email. Things are better now. Online hiring challenges are happening, but still it is very, very difficult. When I went to IIT Roorkee, more than 100% placement was there, and everybody got a job. Even the people who were copying assignments, lab assignments, they also got a job because they were in IIT Roorkee. But it's very, very difficult, to get a job from tier three college. So tell us more about your journey.
Yeah, first of all, I agree with all the points that Rohit mentioned. Like, you have to be keep learning all the time, even though you are doing engineering. So you have to, be keep learning all the time, and you have to upskill yourself. First of all, I will mention like how I was able to, get an offer from Samsung, even being from a tier three college. So the thing is like, first you have to, work on your skills. You have to upskill yourself. You have to, even though you are doing DSA or web development or any kind of development, you have to, be good at it. uh, be in the top 10%, be in the top 5%, you will be, get placed anyhow. So first thing is like, make sure your skills are up to mark. Then apart from that, you have to, be if you are good at DSA, you have to give computer programming, or you have to, give any contest. So if you give contest, you will make sure that the online assessments, you will be able to clear that. If you give contest, you will get the, how the contests are going, how the online assessment are going, are approximately same. So if you give contest, you will be able to, solve online assessments as well. Apart from that, networking is also important. So be active on LinkedIn, show your projects, on what you did on LinkedIn as well, or any other platforms like Twitter as well. Recently Twitter is growing a lot in India as well. So you can show your projects, whatever you are doing, update daily progress on Twitter, LinkedIn, apart on other platforms as well. But these two major platforms are there. Connect with the professional who are working in the top product based companies or other companies, who connect with them, know about the what's the process of, hiring of their companies. And after that, just be curious, and don't fear about rejections are the part of journey. You just need a one good job. Apart from that, there are rejections will be there. I also faced a lot of rejections, but I never stopped anything. I keep doing and keep applying. And also while doing networking, referrals also matter. So if you are connected to a good LinkedIn professional who is working in a company that you want to be in, so you can get a referral from them. You just need to, send your resume, and they will be referring you. Talking about the projects, one thing I missed. I think projects really matter. So what I did was, I will mention in the latter part as well. I made a project which was, a Chrome extension. So I put it online, and I got a lot of attraction. Around 7,000, 8,000 people got downloaded that extension, and I got a good review, around 5-star rating on Chrome Web Store. So I think, yeah, that project helped me a lot to get eyes from the recruiters as well. So a couple of recruiters reach out to me for that project. How means, because it shows that you have done some work, that whatever you have learned in the web development, you are applying in the project, and you are putting it out online. So yeah, these things matter. Yes, these things help me, to crack good companies.
All right, so please tell us more about your project, the Chrome extension. What was it about, and how come it became so popular?
Yeah, so talking about that project, so what I did was, first I did web development, as a engineering student do. I did web development, I did front end, I did back end. And while learning, I thought, and I used to, do competitive programming as well. I used to do a lot of contest on different platforms as well. So what challenge I was facing is like, I was not able to remember every contest at what time the contest is being on which platform. So if there is platform one having a contest at 7 p.m., platform 2 having a contest at 8 p.m. So I was not able to gather all contests at single point. So I thought that there is some problem, like there should be some place where I should be getting every contest, at what time there is contest and which platform the contest is going on. So yeah, that issue was faced. So I thought, there, let's make something. I have learned the web development as well, and I have this problem. So let's solve it something some way. So yeah, a lot of platforms has, I just scrape all the contest data from that platforms. Got the APIs. Some of the platform provided the APIs as well. There are public APIs, free APIs available to everyone. So I just gathered all the data of contest, and I showed, I made a Chrome extension where you can see, what are the upcoming contests that are going on, what are the current contests that are going on, and what are the upcoming contests that are going on the different platforms. Like there are around 5 to 6 platforms. So I have gathered all the data. I first initially thought I will be making a website, but I thought no one will visit my website. So I thought, let's make a Chrome extension where you just need to press a button and you will get all the details in a tabular format. So whatever the upcoming contests are there and what are the current contests going on the different platforms, you can toggle on and off as well. So you don't want to see any contest from that platform, you can on and off as well. So yeah, I and this project I did, and I made it for locally for myself. Then one of my friend asked me, like, I also want this conversations, because he was also doing a lot of computer programming. So I put it online as well so that I can share with him. So I deployed it on the Chrome Web Store, and I shared the link with them. So now I thought, like, I have made this thing, let's put it on LinkedIn as well, on Twitter as well. So I've directly put it on LinkedIn on my profile, and suddenly the it got a lot of attraction, because my connections were a lot of persons who are students who were doing competitive programming. So a lot of people liked it and then commented it was very useful, and they shared among their networks as well. So it grown rapidly. In 5 to 6 days, it has around 5,000 downloads. So yeah, until now the people are comment and review it, like they tell about it, it's very good, and it's very helpful for their journey as well. So yeah, and I put it online, and then I got a lot of attention, so I added in my resume as well. So because of that, a lot of recruiters and a lot of engineers praised me for that, because you did a good project. What project students generally do is, like, they made a clone, they make a just website copy and just copy from the GitHub. It doesn't work, even though knowledge of the web development front end back end, but it's not useful for anyone. If you solve some problem using your knowledge, that would be great. So yeah, I think.
I think so. To summarize what Himanshu said, you need to make sure that you are good at programming. You need to keep participating in the contests and hackathons. At the same time, when it comes to projects, you should not be doing what everybody else is doing. You should be doing something which is helping people, and which is a problem that you yourself are facing, and you want to solve that problem, and you solve that problem for yourself, and then definitely it's going to solve the others. So that worked really great for you, and that got eyes of a lot of recruiters that helped you in getting placed as well. So really nice story, and great to hear that, and I think it will help a lot of people here. So now coming to projects, Rohit, do you have any recommendations for students, what kind of projects they should be doing in college?
All right.
So for students, right, when, like, if you have a clear plan in your mind that these are the companies I'm going to target, right? So if you like internet, every information is available about the company, what tech stack they have, right, what kind of engineers they are hiring, right? You can find this in their job description. So let's say you have a specific company in your mind, and you can go through the job description and you find that, okay, these are the technologies they are looking for, right? They're looking for an engineer with these skills. So what is this kind of project where you just to learn those skills you create project, because not everyone get a chance to work on all the technologies out there, right? So sometimes you build project so that you learn the technologies which a specific company is asking for, right? And the other kind of project is what Himanshu has mentioned, right? So there are two kind of project. One is which is actually solving a problem, and one kind of project which is helping you to learn something. Let's say today you want to learn React JS. Okay, now with React JS, maybe for your first project you really don't have to solve an actual problem, because your primary goal is to learn React JS. Maybe pick up a simple problem and try to build a clone itself. But in that process, you will learn React.js, how to use React.js, how to build component, how to make API calls. You will have all that understanding. So during interview, right, if a company is looking for a React.js developer, you will be able to answer all the questions based on React.js, right? So this should be your criteria. So two criteria I mentioned: one for learning and one for actually solving the problem. And see, you don't have to be constantly thinking about what problem should I pick, right? You use internet. If you're someone who is very curious about technology, you will always find some sort of a technical gap in projects or in products online, right? So there are a lot of opportunities out there available, and there are many free APIs. For example, let's say, uh, like you like cricket, right? So maybe for cricket score, right, crick info has a free API. We call that API, which gives you the current live score. Maybe with that, you can build a Chrome extension on the side, a pop-up, a small window will appear, and it keeps showing you the live cricket update. And you keep refreshing the update in like 2 seconds. Very simple thing, but it actually solves a problem, right? But technically, it's very simple. You will not learn so many things. You will only learn how to make an API call. But at the same time, let's say you have to learn a particular framework like Angular or React or Spring Boot. Then maybe you can start with basic projects, and later on, if you find a good, interesting problem which nobody's solving, then you build those projects using those technologies.
All right, thank you, Rohit. I think that was very insightful, and the idea that you should build a project to learn a technology apart from solving a problem. There are two ways to go about it. Now, my next question is, Rohit, to you, like about system design in interviews. When I'm an early working professional, or sometimes even with the freshers, a lot of system design interview questions are asked, and they are open-ended questions. So, how to tackle those questions? What kind of questions I ask interviewers, and how to deal such questions?
So, system design interviews, right? Let's say if you have 1 year of experience, right? You basically, company can ask you a system design interview. Like, for example, if you apply in Amazon, they'll, after 1 year of experience, they'll consider you for SD2 level as well. And for SD2 level, to clear SD2, you have to go through a system design round. It's mandatory. Okay. And similarly, there are many other top product-based companies are there where system design interviews are compulsory. So let me just give you a brief idea. What is system design interview? So system design interview is about how would you, like, you need to provide a high level details. You don't have to go at a low level part at the implementation level, but from a high level perspective, how would you go about building a project? For example, simple question could be, how would you design Instagram? Okay. So it's a very, very open-ended, very ambiguous question. Like Instagram has hundreds of thousands of features available. So system design, I'll tell you the purpose of system design interview. System design interview is there to check the maturity level of the candidate, how mature the person is. So let's say if somebody asks you, design Instagram or design Facebook, design WhatsApp, you might be someone like, okay, without asking any question, you start designing it. That shows like immaturity in you. Like you do not have worked on real project. That is what it shows. Okay. So basically it's an ambiguous problem where you need to yourself need to clarify the requirement. Like, so even though the question is given by the interviewer, it's your job to filter out the proper question out of it. You need to make a question out of it, a well defined question. Like what, like for example, somebody is saying like design Instagram. So what exact feature in Instagram? Yeah, you need to figure out, okay, so Instagram has ton of things. Which specific part we are looking into? Because it's a 45-minute interview, right? In 45-minute interview, you cannot talk about the entire Instagram, all the features that are there on Instagram. So let's say then the interview will say, okay, we'll just focus on the feed part where you go on Instagram and you'll see the list of posts posted by the people you follow. Okay. So there also you keep asking question. Okay, how that list should be appeared? Like, is it based on my followers or the people I follow or what things I have liked? How deep? So you need to clarify all the requirements. Once you clarify all the requirements, you've broken down the problem into smaller problem, which is doable problem. And then you start talking about, how would you design their APIs at a high level? What kind of database you are going to use to solve that particular problem? Do we need a caching there? How are we going to handle millions of requests? how much hardware do we need to support such system. So there are many different components, right? So remaining things will depend on the interviewer, which part he wants you to spend more time on. Let's say the interviewer said that I want to deep dive into the database part, right? If you are telling that I'm going to choose this particular database, so you need to explain why this particular database, what are the other databases you have considered, and what are the trade-off analysis. So a person who is very good at doing a trade-off analysis between different technologies, that is a core quality that the interviewer is looking for. Also, how would you handle the ambiguous situation, or how would you clarify an ambiguous situation, right? How would you break down a complex problem into smaller doable problems, right? So these are the things. Like, it's a very open ended, it's actually a vast topic. There's no limit to the syllabus for this. Okay, it's not that there is some book that you just read that book and you will have understanding on system design. Most of the people who are good with system design, uh, their learning comes from their real world experience, like their real job experience, right? For example, a person who has who's part of a very complex system which handles billions of users, right? He might have a much better understanding of system design compared to a person who worked in a startup where they were able to hit a scale of 1,000 users per day versus a billion user per day, right? So that's the core difference, right? So people who have worked with big tech companies, worked on products which has billions of users, they they typically have more understanding of system design.
Very well answered, Rohit. So I think system design is something that you take decisions at every level. At Geeks for Geeks also, we have multiple systems. We have practice portal, we have write portal, we build community also. We have articles where we serve the articles. So the way we built initially was we built a lot of microservices. Practice was different. It was a different server. Write portal was a different server. Then Geeks for Geeks was a different server, and we involved a lot of caching there. And then we later realized that it kind of increases the cost of the company also. When you have too many microservices, you need to have a lot of cross team product manager meetings. And then we started thinking, like, can we combine few of the things here? And those are all system design decisions that you take during the journey, and you learn with the process what works and what doesn't work. So Himanshu, anything from your side?
Yeah, I totally agree with Rohit. Like he mentioned, system design is a very vast topic. I have been giving interviews recently. So yeah, so I have recently cleared Google interviews as well. So in that, mostly DSA was asked. But talking about other companies, if you let's say Microsoft. So in that companies, system design is a very important topic. If you are going for the higher level software engineer like SD2, SD3s. So in that, system design is a very well. Is the main topic that will decide whether you are getting that job or not. DSA will be there, every role DSA will be there, but system design is the one which decide which level you are going to in that company. So yeah, and yes, that's it. System design is it.
All right, thank you, Manshu. So, my next question is to both of you guys. Like, I'll begin with Rohit first. So, the question is, I get to ask a lot of questions. Ki, is there any shortcut to crack the interviews, or what are the tips and tricks before going to interview? Or I have an interview in 15 days or 20 days. What are the quick things that I should be doing? So, I would like to ask the experts here, somebody who's cracked so many interviews and somebody who's gone through the journey from tier 3 college to top product based company. So, Rohit, you go first.
Yeah, so actually there are shortcuts. Okay, so the shortcut is to. So I'll tell you a short story before that. So why IITs, like I'm also from IIT Roorkee. Sir is also from IIT Roorkee, and Himanshu is from tier 3 college. What's the main difference? Is it that we in IIT we have better faculty, or what's the core difference, or are we having a different syllabus, different books? Everything is same. They also have the teachers, even in IIT Roorkee and all. Also some teachers are not that good, like they don't even come to class and all. But the main difference is the circle. Like, so we have a pool of uh, alumni, right? Our seniors who are already placed, and during their vacation they come to our college and we get to meet with them. We talk to them and they give us a guidance that, read this, do this, practice from, like, for example, if I remember correctly, the second year, right? One of our seniors, not, like a group of our senior came to our college. Like they came to collect their degrees, and then and most of them were placed in Google, Facebook, all those big companies, and we reached out to them and asked them, what we should do. The first answer was that you don't have to do anything, just solve Geeks for Geeks, because at that time in 2014, that was the only platform available in India. Only one curated platform where you can get all the questions and their solutions and everything. That's the only advice they gave, and that alone changed everybody's life. See how it feels like a shortcut, right? Just one word answer, just do Geeks for Geeks. That's it. So sometimes, and to your surprise, you might feel like, okay, that's everybody knows that. No, everybody don't know that, right? In tier 3 college, you will see hardly anybody solving any algorithms data structure problem online. Nobody is doing competitive programming. Very, very few people. And the ones that are who are doing, right, they are already in like good places. For example, Himanshu is here, right? But that's the secret. The shortcut is to change your circle, be a part of a group, which is like be friends with people, be connected with people who are in these places. If you have such circle, right, you will automatically reach that particular level. I feel that's the biggest shortcut, to have some mentor, to have some guidance. In terms of preparation, how much effort it will take, there are a lot of people who are putting like 10 times more effort compared to a person who has a proper guidance. He know what exactly needs to be prepared, from where to prepare, how to answer during the interview. Compared to that, there are hundreds of people who might be doing 10,000 more hard work, but they are not going anywhere. So it feels like there is a secret, and the secret is to have a proper mentor, to have proper guidance. And things are very, very simple. If you just think about in terms of syllabus, just purely in terms of syllabus, algorithms, data structures, system design, maybe all these three things can be compiled into 3 books, right? Remember how many books you have read from childhood till now, right? But the syllabus to get a top tier job, right, to earn in crores, is simple. That just 3 books, you need to solve these 3 books maybe 4 or 5 times, and that's it.
Thank you, Rohit. One thing, as Rohit said, I did BTech from a T3 college, and I went to IIT Roorkee. The only difference there I saw was the people, the kind of people who come to IITs. That was the big difference. Otherwise, these days internet is everywhere, and I see faculty teaching in private colleges. They teach with a lot more enthusiasm, right? And IITs, a lot of people are 50s, 60s. They're very old people, so I see that kind of enthusiasm in private college. The only difference that I saw was a great circle. Even in private colleges, there are certain people you will find very good, and you need to pick your circle very carefully. That happens with companies also. When you start working somewhere, you will always find some people who will say, the management is not good here, that is not good here. And there will be some people who will be like very curious that if we are using this database in this company, they will discuss with you why this company is using only this DB, why not other DB, why only this library, why not other library. They'll discuss with the managers. They will talk about system design. They'll talk about upskilling. So if you choose the right circle, whether you're working or you are in a college, that always matters the most. So Himanshu, anything from your side?
Yeah, I totally agree with the points that they both mentioned. Like IITs definitely help, the network that they have to get, you will basically get everything. If you want to referral of any of the companies, you will have your alumni there working there. You can get referrals from there easily. But for a tier 3 college, it might be hard. So that's why you need to, push yourself in initial years, like in third year, second year, third year, you need to push yourself to get better network, be active on LinkedIn, and then you can connect with people, and they will if you are having a good skills, they will definitely refer you. And talking about the tips and tricks, so I have basically a short a checklist which I prepare basically before interviews, going for the interviews. So first, I if any interview for me, in next a week or so, so basically I go through all the interview experiences. I definitely go through from the GFG, and there you will get a lot of interview experiences, even on the different SD1, SD2, and recent interview experiences, so that you get the idea what company is asking, what are the rounds there are going on. And depending on your round, it might be first round, second round, or the HR round, you will get idea what kind of questions they are asking. Mostly I have seen similar kind of questions, or similar type of questions, or similar topics were asked to to the students who are interviewing. So I think, yeah, first is definitely interview experience. Watch videos who are the persons who are currently working on this in these companies, and then you will get about the idea what they are asking. And then you can check the packages as well. If you want, if you're cleared the interviews, you can check packages as well, what are the salary range they are offering. And one more thing, like some companies basically ask puzzles as well. Like I have seen companies asking in HR rounds, they basically ask puzzles, test the interviewees problem solving mindset. So they ask puzzles. So I have seen, there is a list of puzzles. I definitely, every time I follow the list of puzzles, there is a on GFG's website, I every time followed. Sometimes I miss these puzzles, but every time, when I follow them, I keep it regular, and then whenever it was asked in an interview, I was able to solve them. So yeah, these two or three things, these are the tips and tricks. And apart from that, if the interview is not scheduled and you want to, there is hiring going on in any company, and you want to interview in that company, and you are not having any no one is reaching out to you. If someone is having the HR's email, you can just cold email them as well, staying about talking about the you have the skills that you have, your resume you can share. And if you are good at the skills that they are looking for, they will definitely share the resume with the hiring managers, and then you can schedule your interviews. So I think, yeah, this trick helped me a lot to get interviews in a couple of companies. So I think, yeah, you can try.
All right, so we'll cover two more questions from the panel, then we'll open it for the audience here. So my second last question is, we all know now that data structures algorithms are something which are asked by the top product-based companies. And the way these top product-based companies work is they hire based on fundamentals. They know we have a lot of budget, we can train people on different technologies. But for startups, typically it happens that they look for technology also because they don't have that much budget to train people. So they'll kind of do mixed kind of approach. They ask a bit of fundamental, then bit of technology for which they're hiring. Now, so algorithm is common in both the places. DSA is common. So I meet a lot of students and they struggle in solving DSA problems, particularly the complex DSA problems like dynamic programming, graph algorithms, and sometimes there is a mix. You have dynamic programming plus hashing plus sorting as well. So greedy with sorting, and also how do we deal with these complex algorithms and what people can do to avoid the struggle with the complex algorithms?
Okay. So yeah, these topics that Sir mentioned, right? Dynamic programming, graph, union find, uh, right? Greedy algorithms. These are tough problems, right? There is no doubt about it. These are tough. But what really happens, right? That when you do more and more practice, and also these questions, right? When you solve more problem, after a certain point, you will start seeing some sort of a pattern in them, right? That most of the solution started looking like exactly the same. Okay? So you need to figure out those patterns. So most of the people, what they do, they straight away, like they without even understanding graph fundamentals, all the fundamentals of graph, like without even deeply understanding BFS, DFS, and all the named algorithms, right? One more important thing is all the named algorithms, right? They are named algorithms because that was discovered by some scientist. So you have to understand as well as learn them. People think like, how would I think about it? You can't think about that. You have to remember certain algorithms. And these fundamental algorithms that you need to remember, right? They became your toolkit, right? So you need to work on improving your toolkit set. Okay, what is a toolkit set? All the fundamental algorithm like binary search, BFS, DFS, right? You should have a very good understanding, and when the time comes, you should be able to quickly implement it. Once you have this understanding, also you maintain a list of patterns like that you have discovered. There are online articles as well. Even on GeeksforGeeks, there are articles which talk you about patterns like two pointer pattern, this technique, BFS technique, DFS technique. There are multiple techniques, right? But when you do a lot of practice, right, you yourself do a lot of problem solving, you will also start recognizing these patterns, right? So people generally don't have the patience to reach that particular level when they start recognizing the pattern, because it will take some time. Okay, it will take maybe 40 problems, then you might start. So, some people might start recognizing these patterns after just solving 10 problems. Some people might start recognizing it after 50 problems. But you need to have that patience, right? And then it will not be that much difficult. Right? It will be easier after that.
I think the pattern thing is very, very important. If you look at matrix multiplication, DP problem, and if you solve a lot of problems, you will see the very similar code. There's a loop running from gap equal to 2 to gap smaller than n, right? It doesn't fill the matrix row by row, column, row by row like in other problems. So that pattern, you start seeing that in matrix multiplication and breaking at different points. In fact, there are many problems where you will break at different points, longest palindromic problem and all those problems where you break at different points and you try, right? So even their codes are very, very same. So you'll start seeing those patterns once you've solved a good number of problems, you've seen a good number of problems. Himanshu,
Yeah, so talking about the patterns to solve these complex, problems in graph, there are a couple of two basic algorithms like BFS and DFS. These two will basically, help out of around 60% of problems will be done by BFS and DFS. Apart from that, there are also different kind of algorithms like topological sort, Khan algorithm, different algorithms are there. So you have to, first of all you have to recognize the pattern, and that will come, as Rohit said, it will come by practice only. It's not like that you did two or three problems and then you just went to some platform and then you just saw that pattern. It will not be able to, help you. You will not remember in the interviews as well. But if you do problems like 20, 30, 40 problems, then you will be able to, recognize that pattern, and you just need to, recognize that remember that pattern. And after once a point and after that, any problem comes based on that pattern, you will be able to, there is a base pattern, like the code of the base pattern will be same for every question. You just need to, manipulate some of the things from that question depending on the question and question to question. You just need to manipulate some of the things, not all of the things. The base pattern will remain the same. So start recognizing base patterns. Different patterns are there. Binary search has different patterns. Like there is a normal binary search which is doing on the given input, but there is a different pattern, binary search on answers, which that will be helpful on the, it will be helpful on the applying binary search on the answers part, not on the, given input part. So these kind of patterns are there. Different patterns are there in dynamic programming as well. So you just need to, rectify that. And the patterns can be found on Geeks4Geeks as well. So you just go through that patterns first, start solving, and if you don't recognize, start seeing that those patterns, and then start again solving that questions. The patterns will definitely, help in your interviews. So yeah.
all right, thank you, Himanshu. So my last question is, uh, for the working professionals, I have some years of experience. After certain years, there are two paths that working professionals typically follow. They go on a path to become technical architect, where they go pure into tech further, and they are into tech completely. And the other path is engineering manager. A lot of people, they go on the management side more than the tech side, and they manage the engineering team. Now, and people kind of get confused which path I should follow. So Himanshu, I'll begin with you this time. uh, what are the skills I should have if I have certain years of experience to become an architect, and what are the skills I should have to become an engineering manager?
So yeah, I will start with the levels, starting from the, whenever you get any into any product based companies or any companies, it will start from SD1, which is a junior level engineer, or there are different names for every junior engineer. So we will start with SD1. SD1 will mostly be looking into like, you have been given problems based on the, just implementation part. You will be given some work, some bugs are there, you need to solve them. This kind of work will be given to SD1s. SD2s are mostly, little years of experience. They have around 2 to 3 years of experience, and then they will be able to, design a low level design of any system. They are good at it, and they were given problem based on that. So there is a system already having a high level design. You just need to, create a low level design of that and start implementing that. So these kind of works are given to, a low level design, and also to mentor the SD1s as well. These kind of roles are being given to SD2s. Starting from SD3 and onwards, there is a kind of diversion path happens, to become either the engineering manager, or to, go to the architect side, based on the individual contributor as well. So for engineering managers, they mostly took part into, managing their team, taking the high level decisions, talking to the stakeholders that they are working for, and looking at the project from the top view. So this kind of work are done by engineering managers. And for the architects, the mostly they took care of the high level designs. They took care of what are the requirements, that how our database will look like, how our APIs will call, how the scale will be there. Let's suppose Flipkart is there. Flipkart is having big billion days in some time. So how the engineers will scale their systems, so that anyone who is serving Flipkart at that time, at the moment of sale, will not be any having any issues. So this kind of decision, this kind of architecture designing was done is done by architects. So yeah, these are the two fields that you can go.
All right. So generally, you can also decide by whether you have you're more of a tech person, or you enjoy managing the team, or you enjoy people management, you enjoy the interaction and all those things. So I think that can also be one thing. Rohit, your take on this?
So, after 4, 5, 6 years of experience, you will be able to identify your weakness and your strengths. And let's say your strengths look like, okay, you are good at managing people. You have a good understanding of the business, not from the tech point of view, but from business point of view. You're someone who, let's say, given a list of tasks, you're someone who is good at prioritizing the task. That this feature we should be implementing first, right? So that priority decision making, if you have, right? uh, you're someone who is good at maybe presenting your products. Let's say you have built something, because in big tech companies, specifically, you need a lot of visibility within the team. You're also someone who can convince higher management to give you more projects. If you have all these qualities, for you the engineering manager path would be a better choice, right? But if you're someone who can reduce the tech debt for the company, tech debt means you're someone, let's say, in your current project you're getting a lot of bugs. So there's a huge backlog of bugs. So you're someone who can reduce all the backlogs. You're someone who can maybe improve the build systems, so that you save a lot of engineering hours, right? And you're someone who can migrate from older technology to newer technology, right? If you're good with that, because that requires a very very good software engineering skills. You have these kind of skills, for you the architect part would be a path, would be a better choice, right? So these are the primary points which helps you to decide what you should become after a certain point.
I would like to add cloud cost as well to
Yeah,
the
cloud
list.
cost, yeah,
So
very
that's
important.
that's a big cost for every tech startup these days. All right, so this was all from our side. We are open for the questions from you guys, so please feel free to ask the questions. Someone has to circulate the mic among the audience for those who are asking questions. So, Mike,
Thank you.
So I have one question. It's just that I'm learning coding as of now. So in coming 2 3 months, I will be learning DSA and everything. And my brother is a front end engineer, right? But in course that I have chosen, there are two options for me: front, full stack, and back end. So what should I choose and why?
uh,
Mike. Oh.
so you're already going through the course, right? Okay. So did you find anything interesting that you are more interested in learning backend stuff, or you're more interested in learning full stack stuff? DSA thing. Okay. So anyways, both front end and back end both requires the DSA skill, right? That's not a big differentiator. For example, if you go to Google, if you apply in Google, even for front end role, you have to go through DSA. It means that they believe that DSA is a required skill for front end engineers as well. So you need to find, like, don't look for, see, DSA and all these are fundamentals, but just look from the point of view of back end and front end development. In those two things, let's say you like writing code in React JS, or you like working with JavaScript. If you're someone who's okay with building UIs, beautiful UIs, or more accessible UI, then I think you should go towards front end development. But if you're someone who is not able to decide, right, then better choose a full stack development, right? Let learn both the things, right? Your mind is capable to learn multiple things at the same time, right? So, but yeah, if you are someone who is very much passionate and very much interested about just front end development, very much passionate about React JS, because I see a lot of students, they develop a lot of interest in React JS. If you're someone like that, just stick with that, because then you can develop an expertise. But at this point, if you're not able to decide clearly, better do both, right? And then later on, once you join a particular company, you will find your path after a certain point.
All right, I think that answers the question. I think you guys are audible without mic also,
Yeah,
so you
without-
can ask.
yeah.
that.
I want you to guide us, take out the resume, like if you have 1 or 2 years of experience or 2 years of experience. So how a resume should look like, and it should be catchy so that it should be shortlisted. Because in resume there are a lot of key points, lot of projects. So is it required to mention everything, or how much we should?
Again, Himanshu is giving a lot of interviews at this point, so I think we'll be able to.
Yeah, definitely. So talking about the resume part, like there are 4 to 5 components that you need to mention, and there should be a single page resume, no 2 page resume, 3 page resume. No one is reading and no one is having lot of time to read 2 page, 3 page resume. A single page resume is fine. Starting about the template, if you want, if you have specific template, you can use that. If you don't have any template, you can go to DD resume. There is a website called Overleaf. In that you can find DD resume. That resume works well for me, and I have seen multiple engineers using that resume template only, so you can follow that. Apart from that, what are the things you need to mention, right? So first of all, if you are having a little less than 1 or 2 years of experience, start with the where did you had your education, like BTech or MTech, anything that you have done, or BCA, MCA, depending on that. You first mention that these things. Apart from that, also mention what are the projects that you had done. If you have less than 0 years of experience, mention the personal projects that you have done, like 2 or 3 minimum 2 projects should be there, and maximum 3 projects should be there. So yeah, that would give idea about what are the technologies that you are good at, what are the technologies that you have worked on, and what are the kind of projects that you have built. And mention about 3 to 4 points only, bullet points. Don't mention full paragraph. Mention 3 to 4 points that are sufficient. Just show the impact that you have done with that project. Don't copy the projects. I am totally against that. So don't copy the project. Make your project, even if it less small project, make your own, and you will be having a good idea about the project. And specify the impact that it has created. Specify the technologies that you have used in bullet points only. Highlight the keywords if you are using any React.js in that, or you are using Node.js in that. So mention that and highlight that technology, so that recruiters will see these technologies. And apart from that, if you have any experience, like 1 or 2 years of experience, mention your company projects. Don't mention everything. Mention the impact that you have done in your project, like if you are able to reduce any response time, search time, like this kind of impact is definitely appreciated. So mention these kind of things. Apart from that, technologies that you have worked on in the current projects. If you are having multiple projects, list down them, and be compact, be as less as possible. So because recruiters don't have a lot of time, they will just search, they will just scan your resume once in 5 to 10 seconds mostly, and they should be having idea about what are the student is good about. So if you are applying for a Java position, tailor your resume according to that you have worked on Java. Highlight your projects that in which you have worked on the Java things. And apart from that, accomplishments or achievements, you can whatever achievements that you have received while being in college or while being working, you can mention that. I think, yeah, these kind of things are very, very important. And also don't forget to mention the email ID and your contact number, so that it helps recruiter just to contact you. So yeah, these kind of things are important.
Suppose I have a resume which is completely black and white.
Mhm.
And sometimes the resume we can see there are some colors to it, and there are catchy or there are profile pic. pictures as well. So does it make any difference in both the resumes?
I don't think so. Profile pictures are definitely not recommended by the HRs and recruiters. If you have plain black and white resume, that would be great enough. Don't add any pie chart or any graph to that mentioning you have this 80% of skill. There is no 80% of skill. Every time you have to there is something you are not aware about the skill. So don't mention the bar graph, pie charts, or any profile photo. Just be the black and white, and that would be enough for shortlisting. Yeah.
So you should see my resume and this, like if you're looking for a colorful resume. And a resume, you need a good resume till a certain point. For example, I'm sure Himanshu will also agree with this, that he is automatically getting calls without his resume being circulated to recruiters, right? So you need like resume at certain point. After once you have good experience on your LinkedIn profile, then your LinkedIn profile itself good enough, right? Also, your resume. He also mentions a very important point that your resume should be like uh, d- based on the company where you're applying. Let's say you're applying to a company where, so let's say you have 5 years of experience. You might have worked on multiple projects, one which is based on Spring Boot, one is based on Drop Wizard, another one which is on PHP. And let's say you're applying to a company. So which project, as he mentioned, that you should not put more than 3 projects, right? So which project you should put in there based on that company you should put. So if that company is looking to hire a Spring Boot developer, so better to highlight the project which you worked on where you have applied Spring Boot, right? Uh, Big product based companies, right? They don't look for any specific technical skills most of the time, because most of the openings are called system generalist. It means like we'll just hire them, and then maybe they might become front end developer, they might become back end developer, they might become data scientist, big data and all, like Google, Facebook, Microsoft, and Amazon, all these companies, right? They don't hire, they hire specific skill guys as well, but most of the hiring that happens is only based on data structures and algorithm. For them, the most important thing is the impact. One, he mentioned that if you're able to reduce latency of a certain API, or if you're able to reduce engineering hours for the company, right? Some kind of cost saving if you're able to do by improving the system design, right? So these kind of things are looked upon by all those big tech companies, right? So one thing is, if you're applying to a company where they're looking to hire a specific skilled person, you highlight those skills when you send your resume to those companies. And anyways, impact is the most important thing. Most of the recruiters are nowadays are trained to look for impacts. So the first thing that they will look is the impact that you have created in your past job.
Yeah. My name is Kesharwani. I have 2 questions. Like contributing in open source, like it have to get into a good company. That's my first question. Second question is, like Verma is one of my target company. Actually, I am working in Python related kind of thing. So what I observed in Walmart hiring is the common thing was Java. They are into competing with Java development. So will it be uh, so will it be applying to that role right one, or else like I need to look at the companies which are into Python, because my experience is completely related to Python stack. That's the question.
Yeah, talking about your first question, is open source, does open source help? So I think, yeah, if you contribute to good repos, like there are some good repos, React.js repos, there are a lot of repos in open source that has built recently and from past few years. So if you contribute to that repos, if you are able to push any your PR, and they merge it, so this shows an impact, and that you know about the code base, that you are aware of the technologies they are working, and you are able to create a specific resolve your bug or any impact that you have done in that project. So if you mention the PR link, and also the what are the work that you have done, if it's impactful, that definitely open source will help. It will be same as the internship kind of work, but if you are having good number of PRs or good impact, that definitely will help the open source thing in your resume, and it will definitely help you shortlisting. Talking about the second question that you have mentioned, that you are currently in the Python tech stack, and the companies that you are looking and targeting are working in the Java domain. So I think I would say in the current industry, most around 40 to 50%, I would say 60% code base is written in the Java,
Java, right.
Java only, because the Java is from very long time, and the companies are not don't want to change the code base, and don't want to refactor all the things. They want to go with that only. So I think if you do Java, that would be great, not only for the company that you are targeting. You can you will be having a lot of other options as well. Apart from Walmart, you will be having a lot of options. So I think, yeah, my suggestion would be, start reading about Java, start looking at other things, because concept wise Python and Java will almost be same. It's just that the syntax will be different. There are some new syntaxes, and some new ways to how you do in your Python. There will be some different ways. You just need to learn that, and in, I guess, 1 or 2 months, you will be good at Java as well. So yeah, you can start applying, and you will have different options. Apart from Walmart, there are still good companies. I'm not saying Walmart is not a good company, but yeah, so it's one of the targets. So I will say, start learning Java, and start with that, continue with Python as well, but start looking to Java as well, because that will open you a lot of options for you. So yeah.
Also, I would say don't put a tag on yourself that I'm a Java developer. Like you will just limiting your opportunities with that, right? Don't put a tag that I'm this developer. So then, like let's say only 10% companies are working on that technology, then you already limited your opportunities, right? Specifically, don't put a tag of a specific language, because most of the languages are C derived languages, and they are basically same. It's just a different syntax. So if you need to be at least adaptable to different syntaxes. That is a, like for example, I'll give you my example from my own experience. Uh, I was working with Instagram, and in a single day, I might be writing code in Hack, as well as some code in Python, as well as some code in React, as well as some code in C++, because that was our code base. So in the same day, I might be sending one code review request written in Python, one written in C++, one written in React.js, basically JavaScript, and one written in Hack. Hack is their Facebook's in-house programming language, right? So then I'll not call myself any of the expert, right? Any of the programming expert. So you might, in real world, you might get to work on multiple languages together, right? So don't stick yourself to one programming language.
Just wanted to know the perspective of the interviewer. Like,
Interviewer, if you're talking about Walmart, right? I'm not really aware, but I think they'll not judge you whether you know Java or not. I don't think. It's a big company. They'll give you enough time to learn. You just need to clear your DSA rounds very well.
Very good evening to all of you. My name is Prince Raj. Currently working in one of the biggest service-based company of India. I have only 5 days of experience, so neither I'm a student, college student, nor a experienced person. So I have two directions. First is, if I want to get a big project, a good project in one company, then I should know deep knowledge of any development, like Java backend development or anything. And the main target is to go for the big product-based companies. So DSA is very important. So what should be the main roadmap for me, or what I can pursue? I think you can.
I'm not able to understand your question. So for big tech companies, only DSA is important. Mostly DSA is important.
Mostly DSA is important.
Right.
But in my company, to get the good project, I should know deeply about the Java backend development.
Okay.
There are many tech stacks in my company, but
Okay.
to get the good project, Java backend is very important. So I'm
But-
going to
right.
look for both.
See, as I told you right before as well, that learning a specific technology, you should like, if you're good with data structures, algorithms, and system design, LLD, and all, learning a technology should be a week or 2 weeks task. Should not be more than that. And learning that technology having a deeper understanding should not take you more than 3-4 months or 5 months. So let's say if you have already spent there 1 year, 2 year in the same company, right, and that company is working on a specific technology, by the end of like 2 years, you should have a deeper understanding, and then you should start getting complex projects. Also, getting complex projects, it's not only dependent on your knowledge or your understanding of a specific technology, but it also depends on your understanding of the business, whether you will be able to understand all the use cases, whether you have a very good understanding of the entire code base or not. All these things are important. So whether you're participating in all the code reviews, whether you're participating in other teams' work as well. So if you show all those participation, right, you will get big projects in your current organization.
We'll take two more questions and then we'll end the session.
So good afternoon. Hello. So I have two questions, but most of the questions were already answered in this session. So one question is from the community. First of all, I want to thank you, Sandeep Sir, for giving opportunity. Like we established the GFG Career Student Chapter at our university, and that is the question from the community. Basically, we are also from the same type 2 or type 3 university. There, when we started the culture of all these clubs and all, many people coming and asking. There we found two people. One is having a lot of skills, but not having a proper opportunity to showcase themselves. And other people, they have many skills and have many opportunities to, but they are not having a proper pathway to achieve it. So, what you will think it will one thing that bridges the both gap?
Yeah, I understand that tier 3 college to tier 2, tier 3 college students have any, very less opportunities to, interview for big product based companies or other companies. So I would say like balance in both. Like you should be having a good skills as well, and you should be having good network as well. So if you having only one thing, like if you have only skills but you have no network, you don't know anyone, or if you don't connect on LinkedIn anyone, so you would not get any opportunity. You would not be knowing about what are the current hirings going on, what are the companies that are currently hiring for that skills. You would not know about it. So, and if you are good at LinkedIn, if you have a good following and you are aware about the opportunities, but you don't have any skills, that would also be not useful, because you will reject in every interviews. So balance both of the things, like be good at some skills, and also kind of network with people that you want to work with, that the companies that you want to work with. So yeah, network with those people, and start following them, start connecting with them, and ask them about the what are the kind of interview process that happens, what are things they require to be good at the things. So yeah, I think balance of both will be required. Yeah, I think, yeah, I
And
understand.
the second question is like I'm also having a 20-day experience in an e-commerce platform. So there now we are working on the Java, Spring Boot, and all this stuff. So we just started our journey as an software, like intern software engineer. So what can you give this some guidance to? So now only we can have something to proceed.
Yeah.
So as you said, the two parts. One is the software lead engineer. As I've seen many of the seniors also, they started as intern, but software engineer, senior software, and then engineering manager. So, but there are also a lot of other fields as well. Like a few of my friends are working in Android development. So now, as Rohit also, Sir also said, initially they will be just looking how you are skilled, and they will be pushing into the different skills, like maybe front end. It's not in our hand. So how we can challenge the situation?
So yeah, don't limit yourself to any technology, to any domain or any tech stack. Don't limit yourself. Be open for everything. Like if you're good at Android, if you're good at front end, back end, depending on your choice, what you like, start making projects. If you are having already projects, start showing skills to the managers, to the leads that you have in your team. Start showing interest in the projects that you are currently working. Start asking them, what can I do, what can I be done better in the current project. If you are having a list of tasks that you are team is given, pick projects that you currently like, and also you want to work with. So that shows that you are interested in the backend part, you are interested in the front end part. So if you are having interested in the front end part, start picking up the topics or tasks that are front end related. So that would help, and that would also tell your manager that you are good at front end, and if you do well, you will be getting the front end projects as well. So don't limit yourself in any technology or any tech stack. Be good at problem solving. Problem solving will help you, in any domain that and also in clearing the interviews as well. So yeah, that is the main.
I think there are a lot of questions, so we'll take 2-3 more questions. I mean, let's not limit to last questions. We'll take 3 more questions.
Yeah.
All right.
So firstly, thank you for the session. My name is Dev. So I had a question. Nowadays, whenever a young person looks for a job in a technology, they immediately think about say data science or software engineering. They are the major available current jobs currently. So I was going through the job. So let's say in data science, majorly when you go through it, you will get a job of building models for the specific entities. You're building algorithms which are used for the specific machine learning purposes. And let's say in software engineering, you build applications for the people where people use the applications, and there are several components in the application which you take at the large scale and people start using it. Now, let's say when you go throughout the years of experience in machine learning, you are basically making a part of the application, and your application is like a whole entity. Let's say in the Google, the YouTube is a whole application, and machine learning is just a part of it. So let's say in the long term purpose, do you think both the when you shift to architect, both the roles become synonymous, or how is the bifurcation there?
Sorry, what's the last part?
Let's say when you have a total years of experience, even in Google. So when the architect role is there, so do they need a knowledge of everything, or are there any specializations for both of them? He specializes in software and he specializes in data science.
No. For architect and all in big tech companies, right? They become system experts. They let's say one particular guy who become very expert in the networking part. So he must be handling all the Google Cloud's networking thing. Let's say one person becomes very good, or let's say for example in Instagram, one of the senior architect, right? What he did, he built an internal query language itself from ground up, right? That's and then that particular query language was being used by many other teams. So he has created a org-wise very large impact, and that's how they become architects. It's not about having multiple knowledge at the breadth level, like a deeper understanding of one particular system, and that particular system should have created a huge impact, as well as you must be the only go-to person for that particular system. Then that's how you get promoted in big tech companies. That if this person leaves, then who will handle this entire code base, because he has the most understanding of the situation. So there are multiple criteria. There is not one size fit to all, but yeah, but that is you need a deeper understanding.
It's a subjective question, but what's your take on the software engineering job and the data science job in the future?
In the future, I would say software engineering will still be there, but yeah, ML side, it's my personal opinion. I'm not very confident about it because of the Gen AI thing. Previously, people used to learn different ML models for specific tasks. At some point, ML is going crazy. A lot of ML hiring was happening, and then when the mass layoff happens, it's only for ML engineers, mostly for ML engineers, because now the Gen AI is there, which can basically solve all types of problems. So that's my personal opinion, but yeah.
So, as per my understanding, the percentage of ML jobs is kind of increasing. Earlier, it was mostly in US. There were mostly not many ML jobs in India, but with AI coming in, a lot of companies have started focusing on AI, particularly startups. Earlier, startups were building only small products. Now they know the power of AI ML because of open tools available. So they have started. I mean, if you take our example, we were having very small team of AI ML people. We were only building recommendation system and using it. Now we want to use all tools available. We want to build a lot of stuff. Want to increase the user engagement. Want to better doubt support, better all these things we want to make better using AI. So startups, I think these days are focusing, and that's where I believe the percentage of AI job is increasing, although still the majority of the jobs are same.
Totally agree.
Yeah. So Himanshu, I think agrees with the point.
Sir, as you told us, you have to learn new technologies, you have to learn Java. If you are doing work on Python, it's good to learn Java backend and everything. So what's your roadmap to learn new technologies? Like if you search on the YouTube, you have to learn Java. There are so much resources, there are so much courses online also. Like every Instagram influencer are putting out its own course. So what is your you learn from Git repository, or you have some websites, or from where you learn? Right? You have to learn
Uh,
technology.
I mostly learn what is so there are two types of things. So one is like I was interested in a lot of weekend projects for my just for my learning, and there I let's say one at one point there was a framework which was getting very popular called Vue.js. So I built a project on that. Okay, for that I learned that. But most of my learning is based on what is my company's requirement. For example, when I joined a particular company called MovingSync, their code base was in Java. Previously, I used to work in PHP, so I had to learn Java for just for the sake of that. I've joined this company and their code base is in Java. So most of my learning is probably depend on the company's technology.
But what is your source of learning? Like
Source of learning. I like to learn from authentic sources, like just maybe for Java, right? The Java documentation itself uh, or there are some good books. I just ask for recommendation from senior engineers that what good books are available just to learn some technology. So I kind of rely mostly on books, and then to clarify some doubts, I also just randomly search YouTube videos and watch some videos. So there's no very clear path of learning because see, some resource might help me but not help you, right? You might like one person's teaching style. I might like other person's teaching style. Others writing skill might be different, right? So you need to find who's able to explain you better.
sir, I am from circuit branch. Like I have built some projects. I have like done some DSA courses also. So like how to like check yourself like on one skill how much you are good at DSA or how much that website that you have built is like good website or like below average website. Like how to check that?
For a website, how to check a website is good or not? Or there
Like
are
your project is good or not? Like that.
oh the pro. So there is so in terms of tool, right? There is a tool called Lighthouse scoring. So you can install that plugin and it will tell you your website score. If just you purely wants to understand whether your website is good or not, so it will give you all the scores, whether the SEOs and there are many different aspects, right? Where your JS is getting loaded earlier or CSS is non-blocking and all those things. So there are tools which can help you to do a benchmarking of your website.
So we'll take the last question, then we'll end the session. Yeah.
So I want to put my question in a situation kind of way. Suppose there are two freshers, X and Y. Both have a knowledge of DSA in an equal term, I would say. But one X have done some certifications, but Y haven't done that much of certifications on the same. So any priority is given to the specific certification student, or like is it the chance of getting hired of the X is more than Y?
You want to cover this?
I want to clarify what kind of certifications are you talking about? Is there it's kind of a Udemy or some kind of certifications or some AWS or Microsoft certification?
Depends, like the authentic one can be Udemy's and if you want on AWS.
Let's bifurcate both of them. Like first of all, there are two types of certificates. First, one is Udemy, Coursera, these learning platform certificates. These matters, but the thing is, they will definitely check your skills. Whether certificates can be done by anyone, but the thing is, do you know about the skill? Are you totally very good at that skill? It basically that certificate will show that you have skill, but there could be chance where you are not good up to the mark for that skill. But but if you're having good skills, that then certificate, I don't think that kind of level that matters. But talking about the second kind of certificates, AWS has its own certificates. There are multiple levels, professional, other levels as well, and Microsoft also has, depending on the Azure, depending on the data fundamentals, there are different levels of Azure and AWS. Also GCP has its own certificates. So if you do that kind of certificates now, that will definitely help you. If you do AWS certificate, if any job requires the AWS knowledge, AWS hands-on experience, that would be extra add-on for you. If you do compared X and Y, if X student has a AWS certificate and the job posting requires AWS knowledge, then definitely X will be having edge for that posting. But these kind of certificates are there. So depending on certificate that you have, you can put it on.
Yeah, and if we talk about big tech companies, right? they'll totally be dependent on you because you have already screening is cleared, right? Your interview, the resume is cleared. Both of you have given your interviews. Then it's totally be the final decision will be based on your interview performance. They will not revisit your resume. The hiring committee, because I was part of hiring committee, nobody looks at resume after the interviews, or they're only going to look at your interview notes. Okay, but let's say, as he mentioned, if some company is looking to hire a AWS engineer or their infra is going to be on AWS, and if I apply to such companies, they will definitely give a edge to the person who has a AWS certificate.
I think that very well answers the question. So we'll end this session here. Great talking to you all, and thank you for coming again, and great answers given by the panelists here. So super happy with this session, and I hope you guys also learned a lot. Thank you all. Thank you.